seduction, sex, lifestyle. For the true player at heart, Global SLR presents The Real Kings of Pickup. Vince Hollywood Kelvin and Arash motherfucking Dibazar. Be the best and fuck the rest.
Okay, guys, this is another recording of The Real Kings of Pickup. Arash and I just spent a weekend together teaching 2 events simultaneously in 2 different rooms, going back and forth between the room. For anyone who's heard of it, the business event that Arash and Brian Casella were teaching, and I was a special guest, was surreal, phenomenal. In the meantime, we had a total blast in field. It's a level you cannot even describe what it is that we're doing, the level at which Arash is at right now. It's just surreal. I was privileged to be able to witness that level. And in the meantime, a quick message that applies to everybody. Watch out, guys, because at the core, whatever you approach in life, if you're a little wishy-washy about it, it's easy to become a bit whiny about it without really knowing that it's taking place. So it's essential that you approach the art of doing better with women from a place where you tap into your alpha nature. Now, there's many ways to describe alpha, but one way is to describe the opposite of it. The opposite is beta. Beta is always in between, debating, finding a reason not to do things. So you got to watch out, because part of the problem for a lot of guys initially is that they are coming at this too soft, too doubtful, too hesitant. And from that place, which is not true nature, by nature, your true nature is pure, raw, masculine power. So you got to watch out. Ask yourself, how have I been approaching this pickup thing? Have I been thinking about all the reasons why it wouldn't work for me? Have I constantly came up with reasons why I couldn't do it? Excuses? Have I made everything else a bigger priority? Because that is the core challenge. And no matter what you hear from that place, you're not going to register it the right way. So step it up, get alpha, choose. Time is now. It's your life. It's your cock. So provide for yourself the pussy that you want, the fun that you want, and let that empower you and empower it from all areas of your life. Meanwhile, I wonder if Arash is on the line at this point.
Yes, brother, I'm here. Good to hear your voice again.
I know.
Can you hear me?
Me too.
Can you hear me?
Me too. What a kick-ass weekend. It's a little soft. If you can boost your volume. Okay, well, everyone, it's a privilege to have on the line with us Arash motherfucking Dibazar, and at a level that transcends what you can possibly conceive of. So it will be quite a challenge to explain what I witnessed this weekend. And yet, Arash, pleasure to hear your voice again.
Yeah, brother, that was fun. I had a really, really good time. Even though you and I have been in field before in Vegas, I was telling my girlfriend what a pleasure it was to just go hang out. Because we didn't really go in field this time. We just went to go eat, and we went to just go hang out. And I just love that 1,000 times more than going out there. The last time you and I went in Vegas was with students, and, you know, there was a boot camp, and a few people had paid for a one-on-one, so we were out there just chilling shit. What happened in Los Angeles is the way I've gotten all my women, which is we just went out to eat, and we were just hanging out, having great conversations, and the women in the area is who we talk to. And that's, I think, what everybody should understand. That's when I say life and game is life, life is game, is that we didn't say, Vince, let's go out and get some girls. It was like, I'm fucking hungry. Let's go eat. So where are we going to go? We went somewhere, boom. The next night, we finished teaching these 2 simultaneous events, and I was like, man, we got to eat. We go to eat, boom. And then we pull the girls, and then that's the way I love, it was just the great conversations, the sharing of energy, and just having a good time. And then, of course, naturally, we are who we are, so we're going to get women. And then I had a blast, dude. It was like, on one level, I was so physically tired on Sunday night when I got back that I almost felt sick. On another level, mentally, I was so rejuvenated that I knew once my rest got in, once my body rested, I would be killing it. So I'm glad to be here, and let's make it happen.
Yeah, and that was one of the particularities, was the fact that we were both so physically drained and exhausted, but it didn't matter. It absolutely didn't matter, and it came to us. And personally, I kept on in my own head going, okay, I'm going to get some sleep now, and let's just stay a little bit longer. And it just manifested itself. We're ready for your questions, gentlemen. And make sure, again, if there's sounds in the background, you mute your line. Who's going first? Remember, we only have less than 40 minutes at this point to answer your questions.
Yeah, hi, this is Fred from Florida, and I have a question about, well, I just listened to, the Clips podcast with Arash, and I've heard you on several products talk about the last time you lied was when you were 21. And so I'm curious if you'd be willing to share. I mean, it's a moment that you remember. I was 21 years old, and this was the last time I lied. If you'd be willing to share that time. And then as a more general question for both of you, I don't know how to word it. I struggle waking up early, man. I wake up and I'm just like, man, if I had just gotten up 2 hours earlier, I could have gotten so much more done. And like, I got my notebook and pen ready. Like, I will do anything that you say because I'm just whatever methods I'm trying to do to get up, it's not working. So how do I get up earlier to get more shit done?
Okay, I'll start with my truth telling, and then Vince can tell you about the waking up. That's the guy I don't think he sleeps. So in regards to telling the truth, it was with Manu. And it was a moment where I realized, that's taken me as far as it has, this moment of realization. I truly realized that nobody else had anything to say about my life anymore. I realized that the world had no idea what they were talking about. I realized that everybody was lying, everybody, every single person, knowing that my parents were lying, knowing that everybody was lying, right? And at that moment, I thought to myself, okay, if everyone is a liar, and if it's truly my life, and I'm a good person, then I must now move forward with no apology for how I feel and what I do and what I say. And it was just a moment. And after that, I didn't have to lie anymore. I just didn't, because it no longer made sense. Because if you're lying, that means you're saying something that is that it's not. For example, you're going, there's a cup here and there's no cup there. That's a lie. Or you're saying something is not here when it is. You're going, there's no cup here and there's a cup there. That's a lie. So I realized at that moment that I no longer have to say things as if they're not there, or say things as if they're there. I just have to say things as they are, because I can confront life and reality, and that is the only way to live. And since then, I can't. There's been moments in my life where I was like, this is a good time to lie. Like, this will be good. And as I try to go into it, I just don't. So I either don't say anything, or I change the subject, and I'm just like, I'm not willing to state something that is an untruth because it doesn't make sense. Plus, I think everybody can tell when you lie. That's the part I don't understand. To me, if I lie, I feel like everybody can tell because it's so obvious. Like, I'm lying. You know what I mean? Obviously, something changes in the way I think. Something changes the way I feel. My body must communicate 1,000 different ways, right? So that's not how to be effective. That's not how to be influential. And so lying became one of the weakest things I've ever seen in life. And so I haven't lied, and I don't think I'm ever going to lie. I mean, I'm not going to say ever. Maybe if I could save someone's fucking life to lie, of course I would. It's just that in my living, I don't need to say things that aren't true anymore, ever. And as you guys see, you're familiar with me and my Facebook and my teaching. I just say it as it is because I've analyzed it, looked at it, and it's the truth. If people don't like it, I don't know what to – then it's not they don't like me. It's that they have a problem with the way things are, right? So, I just was talking with somebody yesterday, actually. They were like, oh, he this, he that. I said, no. I go, no, you need to be corrected. They don't have a problem with me because they don't know me. What they had a problem was with what I said. And what I said, let me ask you, was it true or false? And she said it was true. I said, so what you're really saying is the person who didn't know me had a problem with what I said, which was the truth. So what you're saying is the person has a problem with truth. It's not a personal attack on me. It's a personal attack on the truth. I said, so you need to watch yourself with that person. Boy, did I destroy that person. So that's how it was for me.
And I must add to that, Rush, I witnessed you at a level that's even a step beyond that, because you also call people very genuinely and powerfully on their lack of truth. And in a way that's so efficient that they can only agree with it.
Absolutely. I was doing it all weekend because
Yeah.
I don't understand what they're saying.
I've learned firsthand. So, speaking of lies, it is a lie what we hear in our head in the morning that tells us we cannot get up. How do we know? What if there was an emergency, an earthquake? Would we say, no, I'm just going to sleep through it? So here's a series of ideas that I have found extremely helpful. You also have to know that there is a grace period during which your mind is going to go, no, I don't want to, but it fades. It fades as your body is engaged in motion. It's funny you're asking this question now, because this morning, after this very intense weekend, I woke up and I knew I wanted to get up and I knew I had to get up, but there was a brief thought of, oh, no, I'll sleep a little bit longer. But what do I do, and what can you do in that case? You don't deny that, but you slightly move your body that is close enough to the edge of the bed, either side, and you put one foot down on the ground, then the other foot, and while your mind is still talking, you get up on your feet and maybe then drink a cup of water or open the window, take a breath of fresh air. That's one thing. I got that from my mentor, Marshall Silver. He wanted to be a millionaire, and he realized it would take a lot, so he used that technique. I heard it. I didn't question it. I went for it. It helps also. I have a board that I use when I teach. I put it right in front of the bed, and I write on it at night a reminder of not what I have to do. And anyway, there's nothing we have to do. We may have to pay consequences from not doing something or doing something, but let go of that word, I have to do. Bring it back to, it's a choice. Remember your own power. And then you'll accomplish more. You'll get up sooner when you remember the basic story. Two guys are laying bricks, and one person passes by and says, what are you guys doing? One of them says, I'm just laying bricks. And the other one goes on, a big story. We are part of the construction team that's building what will be the largest mall in America ever. It's going to have a Hooters, and it's going to have this and that. What's the difference between the two? One is only focused on the task of the moment, which is very draining and tiring when you do that. The second one is focused on the vision. So write your vision on a board in front of you. Look at it. Have a reminder. Then, real fast, two other techniques. One is go to bed super early. Automatically, you're going to open your eyes earlier. That doesn't mean you continue to go to bed early, but 3 nights to start the habit, and you'll open your eyes earlier, which your body will get used to do that. I've seen it. I come back from my trip. I promise myself I'm going to sleep, but I'm so used to wake up at a certain time that my eyes open. The second one, make a deal with yourself. You wake up earlier, but to do something that you truly fucking love. I remember in the days when it was very difficult for me to wake up early, and you guys are going to laugh. I mean, I would sleep until 2 p.m. in my early 20s. And I found out they had bargain matinees at the movie at 10 a.m. To be there at 10 a.m., I had to wake up at 9 a.m. So I heard of that technique on a recording of some sort, and I said, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to the movie at 10 a.m. I got to wake up at 9 a.m. Okay? Which for, at the time, I know it's ridiculous, but find something that you love to do, and you go first thing in the morning. I'm going to wake up at 6 because I'm going to do something that I really enjoy. That's good for me. Okay, next question, gentlemen. We'll start with Arash.
Hi, Arash and Vince. This is Drew. I run a Facebook group called the Epic Life Club, and my question for you guys is actually about business. What advice do you guys have about starting a business in the early stages of a business and building a strong, powerful foundation?
I have one that I tell anybody who tells me, and I think it's one of the most powerful questions that has to be answered it has to be answered. And I'm going to tell you guys, and please understand what you're getting. Even though I say it, I know you're not going to understand. But this is something that, you could go to business school 1,000 times over. They could show you all kinds of stupid shit. But the question I'm going to ask you has been earned by me from 18 years of business now, failing so many times. This is it. If you could answer this question, you will know whether or not you can make it in business. Here's the question, everybody. How many times are you willing to fail? That's it. The answer to that will determine whether or not you make it. There's no quick way I can give, there's so much information on marketing, promotions, all that. The one thing that is missing is, where is your threshold of failing that, let's say 10 times, 20, whatever, 100. After that, you give up. That answer right there, how many times are you willing to fail before you make it, will determine whether or not you make it. That's my suggestion for you.
Priceless. And the whole weekend here in LA, it's too bad you didn't know about it in advance. The whole weekend was dedicated, it was Arash and Brian Casella, the real estate agent, that did a masterpiece on business via live stream. And I pitched in also at the end because I owned businesses since I was 16 years old. So it would be phenomenal. And I don't know, maybe Arash, some of it could be made available, maybe to one of the guys on the call or something. Like a post event, because really it's not a one answer, and everything that I witnessed from Arash this weekend at the level of business, and the guys who were on it, I think Chris also participated. Some of the listeners tonight were on it, and it was just phenomenal. Chris put some ideas right away into practice. You got to do also make sure you understand the following two things, and that's among a long list that I personally have used successfully for many businesses. First, you got to think big, but start small. Start where you're at, start today. Second, when you're a business owner, you no longer operate like an employee. An employee has to show up and do a decent job so they get a small paycheck. And there is a form of steadiness. When you go independent, you work with two modalities. You work with planting and you work with reaping. Too many guys want to reap before they plant. Planting also is confusing to many because many think that planting is to get your business cards and get this. No, that's not planting. Planting is so you have something to offer. So make no mistake. I think that everybody who's a dedicated student is in a way starting their business, but it's the infant stage in which, almost like pregnancy, you are accumulating knowledge. And the more knowledge you accumulate and the more you apply yourself with the knowledge that you're accumulating, the rest of the business will follow. My first business, I was a tattoo artist. I now have a buddy of mine who's tattooing me. He wanted to take a vacation on the East Coast. He operates from LA. He made a Facebook note that he was going to be one day on the East Coast. Not saying I'm going to tattoo or anything. He got rushed by people saying, tattoo me while you're there, tattoo me while you're there. Why? Because he's the best at what he does. How do you become the best at what you do? You do it a lot, and you learn. You learn, you learn, you learn. Okay? So I've spent years, like a madman, hearing about a seminar of Tony Robbins in Australia. Boom! In a plane, going, volunteering for a variety of organizations. Now, the sad thing is, the day and age, everybody wants to harvest, and they read one book about business who tells them about value. Well, people see more value when you charge higher prices. And, that's assuming that you render the highest possible goods. So, using the right thing, study, learn, master, pay the price. And this way it will pay back in itself. And the more you do that, the further you'll go.
Wait no longer. Search no further. You are about to progress faster than ever with the most innovative, multi-dimensional mega event of a lifetime. The Global Seduction, Lifestyle, and Relationships Convention in Hollywood, September 23rd, 24th, 25th, 2016. So much more than a summit, featuring only the best of the best true pillars of the pickup community. Vince Kelvin, Arash Dibazar, Bad Boy, Hypnotica, Adam Lyons, David Wygant, Aikido Mosley, John Keegan, and James Marshall. No conference can even compare. Nothing ever like it. Lectures, workshops, parties, club access, boot camps, VIP dinner, party bus, and lifestyle exhibit. But hurry, price goes up as event gets closer. So get your ticket today at www.globalslr.com or call 323-309-3219. That's www.globalslr.com or call 323-309-3219.
We're ready for the next question.
What's up, guys? It's David Guns from Maine. First, I just wanted to touch on the video that you just did, Arash. I forget the guy's name on the podcast, the one that Chris just spoke of. I just finished watching that like minutes before this started, and it was a perfect follow-up.
Yeah, was it a Clips List interview? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that one. And I just watched that one right after I rewatched the Skype call you did for us in New York, and I don't know, just powerful the whole way through. My question is unrelated to that. I want a tip on money management. I've got a terrible habit of spending more than I make. I've got a bunch of bad habits. I smoke, I drink Red Bull, I drink coffee, and the little fucking bit that I spend every single day is, I don't know, I spend more than I make. I don't know if you guys have any money management tips.
Yeah, I do. Well, come on, man. This is one of those things. Like, do you like not having money, or do you like having money? You know,
no, I like having money. Yeah.
Well, then you gotta stop doing it. I mean, there's nothing else to me. It's like one action is gonna, get you one result, one the other. So wait, okay, hold on. As I said that, I realized the true answer that needs to come up. What if I told you this? Okay, I'm throwing this out because I know you, and I say I know you because I respect you. Okay, so I want you to just hear me out and pretend somebody else asked this question and I said this to them. So you heard the question and I said this to them. Okay, so here's the answer I give to them. I say that question is a woman question. A man doesn't have a problem with that, and that would be my answer. See if that does anything for you. Women can't control money. Women are irresponsible. Women need to be told where to go with their money. Men know exactly what they want. They know exactly what they want to have. And they go and they get it. So there's male and female energy. We spend all weekend talking about this shit. And that's not a man problem. Men who can't control their money are having women problems. So that's the answer on that one for me.
Yeah, right on.
All right. You have one really, really, really bad habit, and I know about that really, really, really bad habit because for a long time I had it, and pretty much every guy out there has it, and that's the mother of all bad habits. And then we're going to tie in with two other things. What is the mother of all bad habits? It's the bad habit of thinking you're powerless over it. That's it. Because in asking the question, notice how the question in itself is not acknowledging your ability. We put a gun to your temple right now, and we go, manage your money better, or you're gone. I doubt that the guy would not change. So what you got to do is embrace the habit of the realization that you're much more powerful than you know it. Then you also have to be honest with yourself, because oftentimes we know that deep down inside. I'll give you a perfect example. I smoke cigarettes. I'm powerful. I know. I became a non-smoker for 15 years, and I fucking decided, and that was it. And then I did another time for 4 years. Now, why am I not a non-smoker right now? Because I also apply being honest, and I go, I fucking like having my cigarette. And I'm not, by all means, advertising cigarettes, Okay? I think it's pretty fucked up. Okay? Thank God that's the one thing that I'm doing. If I did more things and I can change that, but it might also be like, I just enjoy spending money like that. And then you pay the fucking consequences. So you got to be also more honest with yourself. And then you have to know that when you decide to change, it's just like if today you go, you know what, I realize those guys are right. I can do better with women. It's up to me to decide. Then you may have to break it down a little bit, to start to break it down. No guy is going to go from never talking to women to doing perfect sexualization all the way to the bedroom. But he can start to take a step. So ask yourself, if this really matters to you, no, affirm. It is within my control. And from that place, what simple little step could you take right here and right now, in between, and make the difference? Also, I remember the best advice I've heard once from a millionaire: you don't want to spend more than you earn. That's what people say. What juices me more is you want to make sure you earn more than you spend. And the third thing to keep into consideration, Walt Disney, for example, when he started Disneyland, he went way out of budget. But thank God he did it. So you also got to make the difference between stupid spending and a really, really wise investment that will pay off long term. The spending you want to eliminate first is all the small stuff. And where's the small stuff? It's right by the cash register. And that may be symbolic or actual for you. But it's the little shit, and that's why they put it right by the cash register. Okay? But know also when and how to invest, and also recognize at a younger age, college or a little bit beyond, it comes with the territory, it comes with the age. Bless you if you have the hustle mentality and you become a millionaire or wealthy in your 20s, and it's a choice. Maybe you're part of a few that has special talent that's recognized right away at that age, but it also goes that you're going to kind of go through a period of time when you're learning and you're discovering yourself, so you'll make headways eventually. Yeah? But remember, the bad habit of all bad habits is when we don't remember we have power over it. There might be some exceptions related to addiction, which is based on illness. Side note for anyone who could have that concern. Next question.
Yes, hello. You guys all, I agree with this when Arash and you guys always say that the brain is the greatest power that we have. And I understand that that's one aspect that you both have exercised the most. It's the brain. Now, the level that you guys are in right now, and you guys always speak about magical side effects or magical powers that have arose through that. Could you please share one power that has arisen at this point on your lives? That, from the brain, and a power that you can do. And
can I quickly ask where you're calling from? I'm sorry,
Florida.
I'm just from where? Florida. Okay.
Yes, from Florida.
Yeah, I can tell you a very easy one. The brain and the mind are not the same thing. So I never talk about your brain.
Correct.
The brain is that little monkey.
No, I mean, that's what I meant, the mind. I'm sorry.
I get it. Okay, so I'll give you one power that if you could get it, you would be superpowered. We spoke about it earlier. One of my powers is that I don't need to lie to live, and you do. So that takes a lot of mental work to get to the point, to see the truth. And it's not, that's it. You try what I just said, and if you can accomplish it, watch this. Now I'm going to tell you what the power is, and it does. If you could do what I just told you, every single relationship, that includes you and your parents, you and your future girlfriends and wives, you and your children, every single relationship, you and I will change by you just simply changing your mind about why you need to lie to people. That's just one. But it's so powerful. And they're all like that. Because if you're expecting to shoot lasers out of your mind or be able to float across the screen or some shit, that's a different thing. Maybe that will be available one day. But if you can truthfully relate to people, that's a mind thing, then you can see that everything changes. Everything changes. Not only that, you will become like a human lie detector. Because the moment someone opens their filthy little mouth to lie to you, you can feel it. Because there's a feeling, there's a frequency of truth, and there's a feeling and frequency of non-truth. And they feel completely different to my ears, to my eyes, to my system, to my soul. So that's one for me, okay? And you start there. First start by being truthful. Because if you can't do that, then there's nothing that's worth doing after that. And it's not a little thing, okay? I'm a businessman. I own 5 businesses right now. And I have never lied to my employees or to my clients. Not once, and neither will I ever lie to them. So till you tell me how another business could ever compete with me when they lie all the time. This is why I can't be blackmailed. They've tried blackmailing me 3 times so far, 3 different places, and they can't. Because everything that I say and do is the truth. So the more someone digs, the more they want to run away because they come to the truth. And the truth is much more powerful than you could have imagined. An example of that is all day, for years, people have been telling me, where's your infield video? There isn't one. But the truth is, if you see me in field, you will see things that you can never, ever comprehend with your eyeball. The truth is much more powerful than a stupid fake video that I can put up and edit 1,000 fucking times. So that's one of my powers, you could say. We start with the basics, and then we move forward. Once you get that, come back to me, and then we'll move to the next.
Arash, would you suggest, would you refer to things like biting a waitress' hand within the early stage of her asking what do we want, or you stopping a girl, asking her what she's drinking, grabbing her drink, and starting to sip from it while she stares in like, wow.
Well, the waitress came up and said, hi, I take your order. I looked at her, so she had tattoos. I said, I hate tattoos. And then I reached for her hand and I grabbed it and I put it in my mouth and I clamped down with my teeth on the edge of her left hand, if you can imagine where the pinky and the little meaty part is. And I clamped down on it and I then threw her hand back at her and I turned around. And by the end, she gave me her phone number. Now, Brian Cattell was also there. I think you may have walked into the bathroom right before then and came out right after then. But, yeah, I mean, and that was nothing, but it was something. So, you know,
yeah. While number closing, the girl next to you on the other side with the typical fat friend next to her that would have been annoying, but did not, because she could tell there was something more, there was something else. And the waitress was initially going for a little story of like, oh yeah, I'm just outside of a relationship, and then with big bright eyes, giving her phone number. So.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
I think that mental powers, that's why I asked you where you were calling from, because you were using the word brain. So, again, we're talking about the mind. Well, if you just think about what Arash was saying about the truth, it's a form of cleanliness, of cleaning house, so to speak. I realize that it's a lot easier for me to access powers, be it intuition, be it feeling more alert, more awake, connecting pieces together faster, being more creative, being more calibrated, being more spontaneous, feeling more free. When I step into the following zone, and it's a zone, you can step into it tonight, guys, right now. Okay. There's the things that we do, and they're not a stretch. We do them every day. Pause for a moment, guys, everybody, and think about what is it that you do it every day. Like you'll be taking a shower, brushing your teeth, driving your car, or some of the tasks and the thing that, okay, I'm already doing this. Yeah? Even if it is a thing you do very well and you're very good at, because you do it every day, it's then nothing special. Even the guy who every day runs a phenomenal game of playing a sport, or every day renders a phenomenal service, if that's what they always do, then it becomes normal. And then there's the things that are a little bit of a stretch, but they're not that much of a stretch, you know? There's the thing like you never went to that place, but it wouldn't be that difficult to go to that place, and you go. Then it's only a glimpse, a brief moment of excitement, like you move into a new place or you get a new car, and for a brief moment you feel like you come into life. You know what I mean, guys? And then there's the things that you really want to do. They're within you, and it would be sad to take them to the grave with you unattended. And at the same time, they seem a little bit out there. How do you start your business? A guy has no result with women, and suddenly he wants results with women. Your passion, your heart calling. And whatever it is, then you take a daring step towards that. And it's a little scary, and you take it intelligently, and you make sure that you take the real step. Okay? Again, if a guy wants more prospect, him getting business cards is not a daring step. Him speaking to someone that he would never talk to, and half of his body is shaking as he's doing it, that is a daring fucking step. Then in my own experience, whenever I stretch, okay, whenever, like for example, I came back from my trip, and after a trip, most people would take a little bit of rest. I didn't want to do that, but that's nothing that I haven't done that's so distinctive for me. But I decided I'm going to say, you know what? You just came back from your trip. You're going to pretend you just arrived, and you're going to give today everything that you have, and all good habits that you maintained during your trip, you're going to double them right now. Today, you're going to be more organized, you're going to be more playful, you're going to talk to more women, you're going to do everything better today. And that was a little bit of a stretch. A couple of times I nearly fell asleep during the day, but I did it. What happens after that? A burst of internal clarity that automatically reconnects you with inner power that are within reach but unknown to most. And then you got to sustain that. And the moment you sustain it the same way, you're no longer practicing this magical principle. I'm looking at the time. We are soon going to wrap up the recorded part. Then you guys be invited to stay on the line for one or two bonus questions. I'm heading to a strip club tonight here in LA to meet some girls and go see a band that's playing there. It's always a fun night. But meanwhile, let's take at least two more questions.
All right, I have a question. I'll take the next question.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, this is Jason from Houston, Texas. And my question is, I go out and I find myself in these locations where everyone, if not everyone, is drinking. I can't drink due to medical situations, but it seems like I'm on a different vibration than everyone else, of course, because they're drunk. And it seems awkward if I was to, when I try to approach women, because I know they're drunk, they're more in their feelings, and I feel more logical. So what is a frame that I have or something that can assist me with conquering this?
Well, this is for Vince, actually. Vince can
I was going to say that, and then we'll make sure the next question, you have a lecture time, Arash. Okay. You are saying that you think logically. First, why is this for Vince? Because I do have a little bit of a challenge with drinking. It has a very bad effect on me. I even was part of a study at UCLA years ago where it seems to, for example, or even if I took a sleeping pill tonight, something that's over the counter, I probably would be hyper like crazy. So it's quite a phenomenon. They studied it a little bit at UCLA, and then I said, fuck it. I'm just not going to bother with anything that would alter my state and so on. And that's for me. That's not for the people. I also had the lower back surgery, which I'm managing very well, with great progress, but there's still nerve signals and so on, so it's not recommended to drink. So not as significant as the condition that you shared with me once, but in a way similar. So let's help you now. First, you said you're more logical. Yes. So let's be really logical. We have a drunk being drunk, and we have a non-drunk. Who's got the most potential? The non-drunk. That means you can become a better drunk than the drunk. You can be the best non-drunk drunk. Now, for that, you need to go back to one of my answers before, the bad habit of thinking that it's not within your control. I mean, by choice, you got to also ask yourself, maybe you shouldn't spend too much time on those places, but it's best to know that you have power everywhere, okay? So you realize that you have the power to be as free and flowing as you choose to be with a little bit of training. That's why I do role play. Anybody that goes through my training and I teach them how to do role play, because automatically you're kind of at the same place. Then people, when they're drunk, it's nonsense. Okay? Even if they try to talk about something serious, they're going to go into nonsense. So you start to talk nonsense. I go to girls and I go, I'm the best non-drunk you've ever seen. And they go, what is that? I go, I'm not drunk, but everybody around me always believes that I'm drunk. How good of a drunk are you? And I'm louder than them, and I just talk shit until I do it so well that on several occasions I did my thing where I do the water shot. We did it in New York. In New York upstairs at that place, the 230. Mario was there. We did a water shot. So I tipped the bartender well to do a water shot. And then I've had drunk girls who go, oh, can we do a water shot with you? And they were laughing so hard. And you influence them that way. Plus you have the edge because you still, if at any given time, you can quickly assess what's really going on and so on. So the key word there is permission, if it's really important to you, because you got to reevaluate that. And then here's a super simple answer. It's so easy to generalize. Speaking of the mind will very rapidly generalize. So you enter a place and there's a couple people, or even if the majority are drunk, okay, to quickly go, oh, everybody's drunk. Well, why don't you next time you go, okay, who here is kind of at the same place than me? And you go to that person and you go, oh, wow, what do you do with all those drunks here? But you seem like a more normal person. And that applies also if you're in any environment, whether people are drunk or not, and you feel that, you know, the crowd is radiating, vibing at a different level, and it seems a lot of reach. Look for the exception and go to them. Like often I walk on Hollywood Boulevard and I may be a little tired and everyone's like, or going gangster or like screaming. And then I look for girls that are not at that place and I go, you seem more normal with all those crazies around. And then I make them laugh. I say, I haven't seen one with pink hair. Okay? You remember the core of all problem is when we don't remember, we have more options.
This summer, treat yourself with the dream hot babe-packed vacation and education of a lifetime. One entire week, ultimate, hardcore, badass, round-the-clock training and pickup with the world's top gurus. Announcing the 2016 7th Annual Pickup Academy, Total Manhood Makeover, July 11th to 17th, 2016, in Venice Beach and Hollywood, California, with Vince Kelvin, Arash Dibazar, and such guest speakers as Hypnotica, Aikido, Adam Lyons, and many more surprises. Party bus, makeovers, dance classes. Go to www.seductioncoaching.com to reserve your spot. Hurry, sliding scale. Catch the best deal now.
I want to pass it to Arash for the last question, and then we'll take a few off recording. Meanwhile, next question for Arash. I will mute myself, and Arash, give it 5 minutes answer.
Hey, Paul from San Francisco. Question for you, Arash. How you said at the beginning of the call, you were hungry, you went out to a place, and then basically you did the pickup. How can we infuse stuff more into our day-to-day lives so it's not such a drill where we do like a whole boot camp a day, we're totally wiped out after it, or you have to go out for 2 or 3 hours straight just doing exercises? Is there a more painless way to infuse it in our life so that we're doing these things naturally and it's not, such a burden?
Yeah, but I don't know. Okay, but you're not going to do it, brother. Because answer this. Why aren't you doing it in your daily life? Tell me why when you go to the grocery store or get coffee or you go to the bookstore, wherever you find yourself in, why are you not talking to women?
It's not ingrained enough as a habit.
What does that even mean?
Where it's subconscious.
You need a habit?
Yeah, where you don't think about it, it's intuitive.
Nah, that's ridiculous, okay? That is the most absurd thing. You can't buy your own bullshit, You don't have to have an ingrained habit. to talk to a woman. When you see a woman, you don't think about it. You like her. You desire her. Do you need it? Do you or do you not? Or do you have to tell yourself, I'm now going to desire this woman? Maybe your mind works different. Do you think about it, or do you just look at her and you want to mate with her? You want to fuck her?
It's a feeling.
That's what happens to me.
Yeah, you just look at it, like you said, yeah.
Okay, so then when that happens, answer this. Why don't you go talk to them? Tell me.
Lack of skills, maybe being in your head, maybe a bit of anxiety sometimes, not knowing what to say, so on and so forth.
Right, that's why no matter what I say, it's not going to give you skills, because you have to go practice your skills and you have to do the boot camps. I did, still do. I still learn. I learned from Vince this weekend. I learned a few things from Vince this weekend that really helped me out, because how could I not? We're around each other. So if I can't bring up your skill right now, right? And then you said anxiety. I'm not going to picture anxiety right now. So everything that you already are carrying as reasons why you can't approach them are still here. And so then when you ask me, is there a way to do it in your daily affair? I would say, yeah, of course there is. And you already know, but you're not going to do it. So you're not going to do it. So no matter what I say to you right now, you're not going to do it. And you got to be aware of that. This is the reason why people fail. Because the pain of doing it for you is greater than the pain of not doing it. So even though you're going to act like you really want to have a woman, and it hurts to not have one, and to not have these skills, and it does, I'm not saying it doesn't, the greater pain here seems to be by your actions, not your words. Your actions dictate that you must consider approaching a woman more painful than not having a woman. And that goes for everybody. When people want to be millionaires, they have to work. Okay? They have to work. Unless they want to win the lotto. Has nothing to do with skill. So they don't want to have money as much as they want to not work. So they can talk about it, but it's easy to make money for everybody online right now. You work. How long? As long as it takes. How many jobs? As many jobs as it takes. So whenever you are faced, and I'm not just talking to you now, I'm talking to everybody. Whenever you are faced with this dual nature of your mind, I know I should do this, but how do I do it? Well, what's the other choice? Then that means the other choice must be more pleasant to you. It must be less painful to you. Old school Tony Robbins shit, right? We do things to get away from pain, go towards pleasure. Some people are driven by pleasure. Some people are driven by getting out of pain. I myself could give a shit about pain and pleasure. What I want to do is I know I have a short amount of time in this life. We're all dying. I mean, ask yourself this question, Paul. How many more years are you going to go before you realize that you're going to have to approach these women? How many more years are you going to go before you actually totally commit to handling this? Because if you don't, it won't happen. Now, what I predict is going to happen, Paul, is, and I have a gift for this shit, Paul. You're going to meet a woman one day, and then you're going to get married. And it's just going to happen fucking all by itself, okay? How do I know this? Because I've seen you, and I know what you look like. And I know how this matrix of this world works. People who look like you, who sound like you, who dress like you, who talk like you, end up getting married. And they end up having some casual life at some point. But somewhere deep inside, you're always going to remember these days, you know, and you're going to know what was available as an experience. And then you're either going to run away from the pickup and seduction community and say, oh, those guys, yeah, but, you know, I'm happy now. I got this bitch and I'm married and we're so happy together, and you won't be, okay? Or you're going to hate on everything and just be a miserable fuck. And that's life. Because you're older than me. I'm younger than you. I'm 39 years old. You should be telling me this. You should be telling me this from wisdom. Arash, wake up. Life is short. How many more excuses are you going to give yourself? So what if you get rejected? You're already rejected by not approaching. You're guaranteed rejection right now by not doing what you need to do. Take all your money. This is for everybody. Take all your money. Take all your time. Take all your energy and handle this part of your life, or just get the fuck out of it. This is not a halfway process, okay? So many people fail. I look at these chat rooms that I'm part of, and I watch these comments, and it blows my fucking mind. This motherfucker today, Chito wrote something about your woman, don't leave her alone with another man. And some guy comes there and starts arguing. And I go on his Facebook, and I look at him, and I look at his life. And that man maybe, possibly, has had sex with 2, possibly, that's exaggerating, women in his life. That guy is a fucking idiot. And so you guys got to get it together, okay? If you look, there's enough of you succeeding. There's a lot of people online right now who are doing well, but they're fucking dedicated, okay? There's levels of this shit, and you got to dedicate. This is why I keep telling people. You listen to me lately, guys. I'm telling you guys, you are very far behind. You really have no idea how far behind you are. It's like you don't have a concept. I feel like when I'm around people, when I watch them interact with women, I feel like I'm looking at monkeys or baboons, or even worse, some fucking bacteria. It's so fucking off. If you entered into my world for one day, you would never want to go back to your world. Ever. And I was not handed this shit. I'm still going for it. Every time Vince sees me, he sees my growth. Every time. And that's one of the few people who can see the growth. Because he himself is at a level to see it. That's the problem. The problem is you're so blinded by society and the bullshit, and you think you're just talking to some regular guy. Maybe you're like, no, Arash is actually really amazing. No, you really have no fucking idea at all, actually, what that statement means. You have a very unique opportunity in time right now to learn. You're very far behind. You are very far behind. I'm about to bring out another product in the next 4 days. Look, if you don't have every single one of my products, I mean every fucking one. I don't mean some or you could just deny. Every fucking one, if you don't have it. And if you don't know what's in it, you will never, ever be able to even begin to comprehend where I'm at. You're fucking up, guys. It's like, for me, it's getting to the point where I won't teach you anymore. I'm telling you, I'm on that line. I can feel it. Because I cannot interact with baboons any longer. Okay? Put in your time. Put in your energy. Make it important. Because you're missing a very important moment right now. Wake up to what's happening. This is not a sales gimmick. I'm not a phony guy. I am that guy. And everything you see that you admire right now about my life is but a fraction of what actually is going on. If you knew how I live, if you knew what I can do with people and their minds, I swear on my life you would think I'm a god. That's where it's at. So, Paul, you either get out of it, and you stop wasting your time, and you stop wasting your teacher's time, or you go into it 100%, no more excuses. I didn't see you at the event in LA, so something must have been more important. I saw 10 people at the event in LA, and I thought to myself, everybody who's not here must have that someone died in their fucking family, and they have to be at the funeral right now. Or they have no fucking idea who I am and what I'm doing, and it's going to be my goddamn pleasure as we move forward to demonstrate the gap between you guys and me, your coaches and me, because that's what I'm doing right now. Your brain cells would burn to the fucking ground if you could see what I can do. That's it. That's it, Vince. I'll off with that.
Amen. There's 2 spots left to Las Vegas, May 20th, 21st, 22nd. For those who are calling live, you stay on the line. We're going to give you a couple more answers. Thank you for calling live. And for those who hear the podcast, Go to globalslr.com to find out more about the Vegas event. And also, I just found out that our system allows people to call from all around the world. So if you're listening to the podcast, there are ways to call from all around the world. There's a country code, a number for each country, each major country on the planet. And you can always email me, Vince, at seductioncoaching.com afterwards.
You've been listening to The Real Kings of Pickup with Vince Hollywood Kelvin and Arash motherfucking Dibazar. Brought to you by www.globalslr.com. Call live every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to get your questions answered. Just dial 701-801-1220. Then enter 129-779-160, followed by the pound key. To get your free pickup starters kit, go to www.seductioncoaching.com now. And remember, stay sexy.